Good afternoon, traders. Hope you guys are having a great afternoon so far. In today's video, we're going to be doing another technical review of SPY QQQ and the Magnificent 7. As I mentioned in this morning's video, I'm thinking about doing live trading. I just have to figure it out with Fidelity. If you guys would appreciate that content, please like, subscribe, comment. It's always greatly appreciated, but let's get into it. So the big thing I'm going to be watching on SPY for tomorrow will be a gap fill at 459.10. Now I know for Thinkorswim users, it's showing that it filled the gap when it actually didn't. If you look at the lower time frames, you'll see that. I'm assuming that it just was the tape that read that hit 459.10, but it didn't actually. So the gap fill is still in effect for tomorrow. I'd watch 459.10. The other gap fill I'd watch for is going to be today's close, but I'll draw those trades in for tomorrow morning. But for tomorrow, what I'm going to be watching in terms of levels will be if we can hold 456.26. I'm expecting to move back to 458. If we get above 458, then watch 459.10. If we end up breaking down 456.26, I would watch 454. If we get below 454, then watch 452. Personally, if you get below 454, I think we're going to be in a world of hurt, in my personal opinion. But then on QQQ, what I'm going to be watching on there will be, I'll be watching 388, 390, 50, and then to the downside, I'll watch 383. Below 383, I thought I was going to have to draw levels for 383 today, which I'm going to do tomorrow morning. But what I like to do to draw my levels, I like to look at multiple time frames to figure out where exactly is the highest confluence of levels. So I'll have more levels drawn out for you tomorrow morning below 383, just in case we end up getting a pullback. But I just wanted to say that I did end up buying $15,000 of QQQ. I bought right before market close. I liked how we held 383. I liked how we held 386. We're at the bottom part of the range. On top of it, we have heavy volume. So I'm expecting to move to 388 to 390.50. My stop loss is on the other side of the daily candle low. So if we break down 383 tomorrow, I'm exiting the position. But what I'm expecting to get is by FOMC next week, I'm expecting to move back to 393, and that's going to be my price target. And if FOMC goes poorly and we end up dropping down lower, I might look into SQQQ, which is an inverse ETF of QQQ, where if QQQ goes down, the inverse ETF goes up. So it's a good way to hedge out your positions without using options. But what I would also be interested in is on Qualcomm. Now, I did mention that I was going to review that in this morning's video. Let's see how they end up doing today. So Qualcomm didn't do half bad. It's still within that range between 126 and 131. Until you break that range, I'm not really too interested in Qualcomm. But personally, in my opinion, if you flip to the weekly chart, we have a pattern of supply and demand. So I would just watch to see if we end up moving back down. But we do have some very bullish movement. So I would not be shocked if we get a continuation up to the upside on Qualcomm. But back to the Magnificent 7, what I'm going to be watching on Apple will be, I will watch the 189.78 level will be a critical level to watch. If we end up rejecting it again, or if we just get a straight push down, I'd watch 187.47. Personally, just like with QQQ, I was very bullish on QQQ. I'm bullish on Apple. I think this is a very, very good sign that we hit a pretty critical level of 187.47. We were able to hold down the daily. We didn't necessarily hold the 189.78 level, but 187.47 is more of a critical level than anything. So for tomorrow, just watch the 189.78, watch 191.70, and then to the max downside, I would watch 184.92. I doubt that we're going to drop that far, but it's a stock market. You never really know. So on Microsoft, what I'm going to be watching is a possible gap fill at 374.51. That's going to be in effect, and I'll draw in the gap fill for tomorrow in tomorrow's video. And what I'm going to be watching for on Microsoft is for a move back up to 371.81, 374.51. You get above there, then 379.80. I doubt that we're going to pump that high, but you never know. But if we do get a further movement down, I'd watch 366.78. Then I would watch 362.19. I'll draw in some more levels tomorrow for you guys in tomorrow's pre-market video. On NVIDIA, what I would watch on NVIDIA would be the 454 support. If we end up breaking down 454 support, I would watch 439. If we hold 454, I would watch 471. But I would watch this range for now, especially just because with all that's going on with semiconductor chips with China, Taiwan, and that whole mess going on right now, I would just really be careful in the video. On Meta, what I'm going to be watching on Meta tomorrow is we were able to hold 318.46. I'd watch Ray move back up to 323 and possibly the gap fill at 324.82, I believe that is. If we get a rejection of 323, watch 318.46. If we get a further push down tomorrow, I would watch 312 and 307. On Amazon, what I would watch on Amazon would be the 145.89 and 147 gap fill. Give it above 147, I'd watch 149. If you end up rejecting 147.89, watch 143.74, and I'll draw on some more levels tomorrow for you guys for Amazon. On Tesla, what I would really like to see is to see if we get a downside break of 232. If we close below 232, 226.42 and 219 will come quite fast in my opinion. If we end up holding 232, we came down to it today almost, but I would really be interested to see if we can get 243 to the upside, especially if QQQ and the other S&P and NASDAQ holders really start rallying. On Google, what I would be interested in would be I'm just saying Google, I'm very bullish on as well. If we can hold 128, then I'd watch a move to 130 and 131.41. If we reject 130, watch 128. If we get above 131.41, watch a gap fill of 131.86 on Google. And then what I would watch on SPX is I'd watch for a possible double top on SPX at 4,600. That's something that I'm heavily watching. We might get a gap fill reversal, especially considering that we got FOMC next week. And then on the NASDAQ, I would also watch a possible double top forming up on there as well, especially with FOMC next week. If you guys appreciate this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Always greatly appreciate it.